Alvin Robinson put San Antonio within 3, but Mike McGee comes off the bench, hits three-pointers in the second quarter, had the hot hand, 19 points in the half from McGee. Meanwhile, Dennis Hobson with 20 points by intermission, and at half, it was an 18-point lead for New Jersey. San Antonio has cut it to 11. It is now 80-69, 4 minutes to play, third quarter. Indiana is playing at Chicago. Obviously, Michael Jordan is the star of the Bulls, but Scottie Pippen has really been playing well lately. Gets the nice pass from Paxson, goes in for the basket. The Bulls scored the first 8 points of the game. They have led the entire way. It's 34-29. With All-Star... including League MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, All-Star MVP, and Slam Dunk Champion. This season, more of the same. Here's tonight's NBA Beat.
During the 4-game sweep, Jordan averaged 38 points per game. He also averaged in double figures in assists and had 8 rebounds a game. The complete player at both ends of the court, Jordan won the award for the second time this season. Miami won for the 4th time this season, but it wasn't easy. Rookie Rick Smits helped the Indiana Pacers build a 29-point lead. But Miami fought back from the deficit. John Sunville with a 3-pointer to tie the game. And Billy Thompson with a winning basket in double overtime. Miami with the biggest comeback of the year, down by 29, a 118-117 winner.
Well, now they're in form and seem to be getting things back together as they broke their losing streak on the road against the Clippers.
Bad pass by Rivers. Then Dominique saves it for Atlanta. The feed from Theus to Moses Malone, who traveled thanks to some more good defense by Pressey. Whoa. Picked out by Dominique Wilkins. 12 on the shot clock for Milwaukee. Milwaukee with their starters, Krzysztofiak, Sigma Cummings up front with Pressey and Humphreys in the backcourt. Remember, Sidney Moncrief on the 5-game injured list with sore thigh muscle. Cummings, who had 10 in the first quarter, none in the second, opens up cold here, too. Cummings doesn't get hot. You can just put this one in the bank for Atlanta.
You better put it in the right bank, though.
That's right. Moses Malone over the double team. Saved by Rivers. Loose ball foul on Milwaukee. It's on Paul Pressey, his second person. No scoring in this quarter so far with a minute gone. Hawks continue to lead by 17. Misses from long range. Here comes Humphreys. Good play by Rivers, breaking up what might have been a relatively easy bucket by Terry Cummings. And with 20 on the shot clock, it'll be Milwaukee ball. Humphreys goes for 3. And shot it in 4-point distance. Doc Rivers with a beautiful drive. flat-footed. They've been caught that way multiple times tonight as the Hawks rebuild their lead to 19 points. Dale Harris talking to Humphreys on that play about his defensive rivers or lack of it. Pressey on the drive. Blocked by Dominique Wilkins. Cummings with his first point since the first quarter. Looked like Theus lost control of the ball in travel. It'll belong to Milwaukee.
Well, I would think Dale Harris is probably going to give these young men right now an opportunity to see if they can chip into this lead. But if they continue to play as poorly as they had in the second period and the beginning of this period, we're liable to see a lot of the reserves in the game and try and see if they can do something to get back into it.
Hawks have turned it over 3 times already in this quarter.
Jack Sigma has hardly been hurt from it all this game offensively.
Cummings picks up the personal. He has 2. Sigma has only 2 points in the ballgame.
Watched a good team defense on a play just a little while ago. Dominique Wilkins came over from the weak side. There's the drive on the part of Humphreys, and he knocked it away. Good help, weak side.
Neither Sigma nor Cummings scored in the entire second quarter. Hawks up 62-45. Early going third quarter. Theus open for the jumper. Rebound, outlet Humphreys. And the Bucks have battled back to within 15. Coaches like to see if you're down by 20 at the half, most coaches will tell their players, try to get into it by 10 or so in the third quarter, get it down to around 10, and from there in the NBA, you certainly are still within a ball game.
See, that's not a good pass. He's way out above the three-point line, trying to throw it a long distance inside against a good defensive team. That had 2 chances of getting there, slim and none.
9 on the shot clock. Ball away by Wilkins. Rebound, Kristowiak. The Bucks with an opportunity to climb back in this thing.
And the Hawks cannot get impatient.
Cummings just slammed Levingston to the floor, and they whistle in for the foul. It was a late call, but a good one. That's 3 personals on Cummings. Watch this.
Well, watch it again. That's a good acting job on the part of Cliff Levingston. All he was doing was holding him off a little bit, and Cliff gave it the old Oscar award. Of course, we're getting close to Oscar time, I guess. Another month or so, month and a half.
Of course, that shot missed the battle about a second before that, though. 3 on Cummings. Hawks have 10 on the clock, and Milwaukee's defensive intensity definitely higher. Wilkins over the double team.
There's no patience again. That's not a good shot.
Pressey to Kristowiak. Bad pass. Saved with a behind the back by Cummings. And then Kristowiak threw it away. Cummings with a nice play. Levingston over Sigma. As you've said so many times, Rick, one of the problems when you battle out of a hole that Milwaukee's in right now, you might battle out and pull into 8 or 9 points, but you've exerted so much energy just digging out of that hole. Sometimes it's a very difficult comeback. Cummings continues to be cold, and this is the layup.
Carrying the ball on Doc Rivers.
We saw John Battle go about 10 yards without dribbling the ball in the first quarter. They get Doc on it this time. And that's what he's probably saying. Here's the Wendy scoreboard. New Jersey.
They had a big lead, and they're down to a 2-point game.
You can handle that scoreboard, Rick. Go ahead with the next one.
Chicago and Indiana having a good battle. And Chicago have been playing well of late. I would think that they should pull that one out at home.
Sigma. Sigma with his first field goal of this ball game.
Well, they need to get Jack involved in this game and then put Moses on the defense.
Jim helped me beat the streets, but I learned a lot more at the club than how to play basketball. I learned how to win off the court, too. The boys club has been teaching kids how to be winners for a long time. Okay, guys, let's go.
In the first round, once again, Atlanta-Milwaukee meeting each other. This time, the Hawks were able to win 3 games to 2 as you look at Dominique slamming the ball, but the Hawks went on then to lose to Boston in 7 games in the semifinals. Had a problem with the
one, and that's what the concern is.
Hey, so am I. We're right under that thing. No kidding. Get the engineers out here. Now all of a sudden I'm concerned. That put meaning in that to me. Hawks Hawks leading it by 15. Wilkins over Christowiak.
Yeah,
Dominique with 13 points in this ball game.
With your quickness, you have no problem, Bob.
No problem. I catch it, you catch it, shoot it. Humphreys guarded by Doc Rivers. Gets the pick. Blocked Doc Rivers. Shot clock down to 8 seconds. Sigma from very long range. Missed everything. Cummings, rebound, it's blocked. Back up with it again. Cummings finally scoring. Atlanta continuing to lead by 15. Hawks with Doc Rivers, Dominique Wilkins, Reggie Theus, Cliff Levingston, and John Konkak on the floor. Levingston against Cummings. Christowiak with the help. Hawks ball, 8 on the shot clock. Starters are in there for Milwaukee. Sigma, Christowiak, Cummings, Humphreys, and Pressey. Atlanta turnover. Stripped away by Doc Rivers, but they've got it for the foul. That'll be his second. First Atlanta team foul. Bucks have 2 team fouls.
There we see Doc in the middle of the screen, 25 in the white, come over to help out on the play, and it sure looked like he got nothing but ball. He may have touched Pressey after he knocked the ball away, and that's where the foul may have occurred. It certainly didn't happen on the knockaway.
Sigma fouled by Konkak. Defensively for Milwaukee, has only 4 points. Cummings just doesn't have his perimeter game here tonight. He normally shoots it well out there. Intercepts the bad pass from Levingston. Christowiak uses the rim to block off Levingston's defense, and all of a sudden the Hawks 17-point lead cut to 13. Diaz puts it back to 15. Reggie with 12 points, his first second half points. 5:25 to go, third quarter. Christowiak has it stripped away. Another Atlanta foul. Slightly ill. Here's that Milwaukee press. It gave Atlanta trouble, and Konkak had to call a 20, or he might have had to turn the ball over. Pearson Humphreys at the guard for Milwaukee. Carr, who's been shooting very well this ball game for the perimeter, has 10 points, his first 2 in the second half. Carr is 4 out of 5 from the floor. Wilkins tips it away. Milwaukee has 8 on the shot clock. Cummings with a penetration. He's fouled on the continuation. Will get the basket and a 3-point opportunity. Chance to cut the lead to 12 points.
That's one of the rules I really enjoy about the NBA. The continuation with a good crossover move gets the opening by Carr. You see him with the push and the continuation. Certainly he was on his way to the basket, and that play should be allowed. I'd like to see college pick that one up, but I would like to see one of the college rules put into effect in the NBA. The 5-second rule defensively when the man's on you. And I think that the NBA players are allowed a real freedom there to be able to hold on to the ball forever. If you play that type of good defense, you should be rewarded for it.
Full court pressure now by the Bucks. They pull to within 12. Milwaukee is perfect from the free throw line tonight. They are 14 out of 14. Theus missing. Christowiak trying to save it, went down hard. He's all right.
That's why Del Harris and the coaching staff loves this young man, and with plays like that, he's forever hustling on both ends of the court. You'll see an opportunity of it right here, an example of it as it was knocked away. He knew he touched it last, and look at the try to see if he can keep that ball in play. Not many players will put their body on the line for you like that.
Christowiak, out of the University of Montana, was a second-round draft choice of Chicago in 1986. Came to Milwaukee from San Antonio for Charles Davis. Long range, Wilkins with a miss. Theus saves the loose ball. Concat. Back to Carr. Hawks with good ball movement. Doesn't go for Carr this time. Humphreys with a very, very regretful shot attempt. Theus called for traveling with the double team. Humphreys wanting a foul when he drove to the hoop, but none was coming. None deserved, in my humble opinion. At any rate, it'll be Milwaukee ball after the controversial traveling call on Reggie Theus. Who gets a rest? John Battle and Doc Rivers will be at the guards for Atlanta. Bucks could cut it to 10. They've isolated the side for Cummings. Now draws the double team. Into Fred Roberts. Illegal defense on Atlanta. Cummings can't buy a perimeter shot. Hawks by 12. Rivers down. There'll be a jump ball. Doc Rivers slipping as he tried the reverse dribble move down the lane. The Atlanta crowd here actually booed these Atlanta Hawks, who've been on a slump of late. Their last home game, and Mike Fratello was very vocal in the local press saying, you know, people buy their ticket, they can boo us, but we've got a good basketball team here, and I hate to see the fans give up on us so quickly. Very high expectations in Atlanta this year for the Atlanta Hawks. Malone back in for Concat. This looks like a committee meeting in Congress here trying to decide who's going to jump the ball. It's Roberts and Rivers. Rivers, a great leaper, wins that one easily. Wilkins wanted to get it inside to Moses Malone. Good defense by Milwaukee. Moses Malone from the corner. Cummings rebound. Milwaukee's defensive intensity has picked up, and that's why they're clawing their way back into this ball game. Sigma a little out of his range there. You can tell by the way he released the ball. 71-58 Atlanta. 2:30 to go in this third quarter. Wilkins gets his own rebound. What an offensive player. 16 points for Wilkins in this game. He has 8 rebounds, 3 assists. You always see the highlights of Dominique's 360 jams, but you don't often see those hustle plays on the highlight film. Into Cummings. On the fall away, he's fouled by Antoine Carr.
The official vehicles of the NBA, Jeep and Eagle. Robert Parrish backdoor layup gives Boston a late 1-point lead. Who will the Lakers go to in the clutch? By 1 in the Boston Garden, the Lakers look to Magic Johnson to pull it out in the clutch.
Johnson over Parrish. He hits it. The Lakers win.
You can expect the best from Jeep and Eagle.
Sir? This is what happened. You see Dominique in the circle. He's got Ricky Pierce guarding, and now watch him start the call for the ball as Cummings is out on Battle. He's saying, hey, get it in here, get it in here. I got a little guy, and then Pierce runs out. Cummings switches back out. Then Nick looking like he might take the three-pointer, and he actually traveled. You see, he switched his pivot feet. His left foot was the pivot foot, and then when he went for the three-pointer, he changed pivot feet, got away with the walk, and then got a technical foul as a result of the illegal defense.
.202 to go third quarter. Hawks 73, Bucks 58. Miss from the free throw line by the Milwaukee Bucks. It was by Terry Cummings, who's just having trouble with a set and or jump shot tonight. Hawks by 14 with 1:55 to go in the third. Bradley and Battle in the backcourt for Atlanta. Carr. Well, the Hawks have missed him during the recent road trip as he had to stay home for most of that trip with the flu. And he seems to be well tonight with 12 points off the bench. Cummings gets the bounce. Despite his inability to hit the jump shot, Terry Cummings has 20 points in this game.
The Bucks need a couple of good defensive efforts right here.
Good defense there. Cummings on Carr. Rebound Milwaukee.
And no Hawks underneath the rebound.
Sigma for three. Roberts keeps it alive. Wilkins comes up with it. Has Malone on the right. Battle in the middle. Nicely executed. Wilkins to Battle to Wilkins.
Bob, I don't understand why Jack Sigma would have taken that three-point shot. They had plenty of time to work it in, get an easy two-point basket, play good defense again, and they've got it down to 10. Now it's back to 16.
Sigma is 13 of 40. That was his 41st three-point attempt this year.
I still don't think that's his range. And a nice move by Dominique to reverse it over for the easy two.
42 seconds in the quarter. 5 on the shot clock for Milwaukee. Pierce at the buzzer. That counts. Hawks by 14. Sigma breaks up the pass. It's 8 on the shot clock, 17 in the quarter.
If the Bucks can stop them here and score a hoop, they're still well within striking distance, even at 13. Anything
On play as Jack Madden explains that to Pierce, who indicates he still doesn't understand what the problem is. Almost intercepted by Preston. Wilkins in a crowd. Batted out of there by Krzysztofiak. Malone. Fred Roberts is fouled on his drive to the basket. Bradley for three. Would have counted. Missed it anyway. 79-65. The Hawks over the Bucks.
Let's go to the hoop.
On Friday night NBA, it's a double dose of NBA excitement live. First, Isaiah Thomas and Detroit's Bad Boys hit the court against Wayman Tisdale and Indiana. Then, the smooth moves of Mark Aguirre, the speed and finesse of Magic Johnson. Dallas battles the world champion Lakers. It starts at 8:05 Eastern Friday.
For the best Superstation TBS at the hoop.
Air playing time for Milwaukee. Hawks only shot 39%, 9 of 23 in the third quarter. Krzysztofiak, nice move, his left hand off the glass, and the Hawks lead it by 12 going into the final 12 minutes of basketball. So Milwaukee still very much in this ball game. Bradley has it stuffed by Fred Roberts, and it'll be a jump ball.
Well, again, the Bucks coming out, playing some tough defense. Del Harris giving a few new people an opportunity to come in there, see if he can shake things up a little bit. And let's see if the Hawks can manage to not have one of their fourth quarter deterioration spurts.
Ball pressing to Fred Roberts. Tipped away by Bradley. Excellent defensive player out of North Carolina.
In some cases, the Hawks have just actually totally collapsed in the fourth quarter. And New Jersey did finally win that ball game. Again, that's another one of the example of a team fighting from a big hole, Bob.
Pierce from inside, and just like that, it took him a little more than a quarter, but the 17-point Hawk lead has been cut to 10. Guarded by Brewer. Now the double team from Pressey. Pierce with a nice play to steal the attempted pass. To Battle, goaltending.
And that'll be I think that's going to be, that may very well be a two-shot foul and the ball, because he didn't really have a play at the basket. That's a good call, I think, on the part of the official.
And
Terry
you're exactly
Durham.
right. It is a breakaway foul.
And we'll watch it again. You'll see Pierce. He's going to have definitely a clear path to the basket coming from behind Antoine Carr. He really has no play without having to hit him from behind to get the ball, and I think that's a good play. I mean, he almost hurt Ricky Pierce driving him into the support.
So he gets the free for shooting perimeter shots from the baseline. 10 rebounds in this game for Wilkins. Rivers over Roberts.
I tell you, after Brewer shot a shot, the collective expressions on the faces of the coaching staff for the Bucks was priceless. Were priceless, I should say.
Brewer gets rare playing time. That's one of the reasons he really hurts the team with his slowness and his lack of offensive abilities, even though he's a big guy. Now the Hawks, sensing that collapse, come back with a vengeance, led by Doc Rivers, misses that shot in the paint. Brewer outlets to Pierce. Hawks by 10.
Boy, missed Fred Roberts, who was wide open. 2 Hawks had gone to pick up Krzyzkowiak, and that left Roberts wide open.
Stoiak from the baseline. He's got a good perimeter range. Excellent player. Stoiak out of Montana. University of Montana. It's his 3rd year. .45 to go in the game. Atlanta by 8. Milwaukee's made a game of it. Battle over the good defense by Pierce. Gets the roll and the fall. John Battle has 4 in the game. Clear the side for Pressey. For Stoiak to get a 2-man game going, but the Hawks defense very intelligent. Into Pressey over Rivers. Pressey with 11 in the game. Has only 4 points in the second half. That is not a continuation basket. That foul is on Paul Pressey, his 3rd. Team foul situation. Both teams have 1 with 9 minutes to go in the game. Sigma on the bench. Cummings on the bench. And Milwaukee still fighting back in this game. But Doc Rivers saw the lack of paint defense and took it to the hoop. Doc Rivers has 10. Pressey, nice pass inside. Doesn't get the hoop. Brewer there to put a follow, but missed the layup. He's fouled. Will go to the line. Battle picks up the personal foul, but hoping their team does not go into the 4th quarter doldrums. Cummings about to come back in for Milwaukee. Battle on the drive, and then the dish to Levingston.
Well, they doubled him off the screen, and the screener eventually was open going to the basket, and the Hawks found him.
Levingston with 19 points. Rivers with a foul.
By Levingston. They see Krzyzkowiak comes over to help out. They're both there. Now they both go. Nobody else drops in to pick Levingston up, as he had a clear path to the basket. It should have been Pressey's responsibility to pick up Levingston, who was the initial threat or the immediate threat going to the basket.
Brewer staying in at center, but Cummings back in at the forward. Krzyzkowiak and Cummings join Brewer up front. Pierce has it batted away. Nice defense by Doc Rivers. Hawks by 10. Rebound Pressey. Bucks want to run. This time Rivers with the foul. That'll be his 4th. And the 4th team foul on Atlanta. Atlanta never got into the penalty situation till the very end of the 3rd quarter, but they're in danger of getting into it they will get into it on the next foul here in this ball game with 7:50 come back. Was the other night by Miami over Indiana down there, trailing by 29 in that game.
Talking about the team fouls, the Bucks with only 1.
Atlanta by 8. Bad pass. Tried to get that one to Battle. Too many green jerseys down there. Stoiak from the perimeter. Excellent player. He has 18 points in this ball game. And a good defensive player down in the hole. And it's a 6-point Atlanta lead. Atlanta led by 17 at the half. We're up by as many as 19. Timeout Hawks. 7:13 remaining in this ball game. The Bucks take over this game. Oh, Dominique fires outside, goes after it. Whoa! The Elo for a three-pointer. He leads the league. Price with a tip at the buzzer.
Jordan on the move, in from the right, reverse layup.
They're enjoying their biggest lead, 8 points.
Yes.
NBA action is fantastic.
Good issue. Could have seen her 36-inch vertical leap or somewhere in that area.
7:13 to go in the ball game. Hawks by 6. Theus in for Doc Rivers. Theus in battle in the backcourt for Atlanta now. Brewer staying in there against Malone. Tried to strip it away. Malone on the drive is fouled.
I'm sure Mike
Go back into the locker room right before this game started. Hawks by 8. Foul was on, as we pointed out. Brewer is first. Nice pass into Pierce from Pressey. Hawks by 6. 6:40 to go in the game. .3-inch Brewer fronting Moses Malone, trying to keep him out of the action. Wilkins goes for 3. Rebound Levingston, but he lost it to Pressey. Down to Krzysztofiak, and he's fouled by Battle. Five-point Hawks lead. Closest the Bucks have been since the first quarter. Since early in the second, actually. Pierce on Battle. Pressey on Theus, and Cummings is defensive Levingston. Jump ball, Levingston and Brewer. What an effort by Cliff Levingston. Brewer had that rebound, and Levingston tied it up just long enough to draw the whistle.
Del Harris urging his team to box out, and Terry Dorham telling Mike Fratello he's heard enough from him for the evening, and I'm sure if Mike says another word that he'll get the technical from Terry.
They say Brewer stole the tip, and it'll belong to Atlanta. Big call with only 5:54 to go in the game, and a 5-point differential.
And Brewer saying, hey, he threw the ball way over here right into my hand.
It was a bad toss. Rivers back in now with Theus at the guard. John Battle sits down for Atlanta. Wondering when Sigma's going to return for Milwaukee. And Brewer and Moses Malone are just locked against each other down low. Moses Malone and Brewer continue their slugfest. You see him right in the middle of your screen. Illegal defense against Milwaukee. This will be a shooting call. That means it's a technical foul at 12.5 on the season. Now Sigma's going to beat on Malone for a little while. Lob it into Malone, and Sigma had to hold him.
Well, so much for the team foul advantage.
Four personals on Sigma, and the next foul on Milwaukee will put the Hawks at the line. Atlanta leading by 6, 5.5 to go in the game. This isn't pretty basketball, but believe me, it's physical.
Offensive foul, it may be, or 3 seconds. 3 seconds is what they call, but they could have called an offensive foul finally on Moses. He threw a little elbow at Jack Sigma. Look at the battle. He's in the lane. He's still in the lane. Now he's out of the lane. Now he's back in it. Still in it. Still in it. And there's the 3-second call within the right arm on Moses.
Cummings down low, knocked out of bounds by Reggie Theus, and Del Harrison, the entire Milwaukee coaching staff on their feet over there, saying to Terry Durham, where's the call? One was coming, inbounded by Milwaukee with 19 on their shot clock. Out of bounds. Pressey couldn't control it. Nice defense by Doc Rivers on the inbounds play. Well, that brought Del Harris to his feet. He's now livid from that end. The Hawks with 22 turnovers in the game, and Milwaukee 17. Atlanta by 6, 5 minutes to go in the game. Stoiak and Sigma. Levingston with 21. Pressy down low to Stoiak. Doesn't get the roll. Out of bounds. Belongs to Atlanta. Excuse me. Check that to Milwaukee. Thought it went out of bounds off Sigma, but
so did
no.
Moses.
I think he's telling Jack Madden that very thing right now. Levingston with his season high point total of 21 tonight. Very effective down low. Sigma down to Pierce. Pierce has been scoring down low tonight despite being guarded by either Theus or Rivers at various times, both of whom are taller. 92-86 Atlanta. Pressy on the double team. He fouls Moses 5, but the Hawks had led by 17 at the half. Hard to dig out of those deep holes. Sigma. With his own rebound, he can't even get it to go down. Pierce takes it inside again. Stripped away by Levingston. For Stoiak is fouled. Looked like Dominique. Milwaukee shows a three-quarter trap. Comes off it. Rivers over Pressy. And Dominique Wilkins with a foul in the backcourt on Jackson. Lead. Humphreys getting set to return to action for Milwaukee. Battle about to come back in for Atlanta. Wilkins on the drive. Rebound Sigma. Here's from the baseline. Hit the side. Not a wide shot selection. Stoiak stops Moses Malone from getting the layup, but sends him to the line. The Hawks leading by 4. Humphreys and Battle into the game. Milwaukee right out of here, but the Bucks just hung in. Stolen by Dominique. Unwise pass by Pressy. Hawks had that defense go all the way. Moses Malone has it blocked. Hawks want a foul. Don't get it. Cummings. And it's a 4-point lead again for Atlanta. Crowd didn't like the no call. Moses had it down low. And Mr. Malone talking to Mr. Durham right now about that very matter. Time remaining. More right of your screen. Stoiak and Wilkins now battling. Wilkins draws the double team. Finds the open man. It's Rivers for 3. Big bucket by Doc Rivers. Rivers with the triple. All his shots tonight. That was the biggest. This year, Milwaukee's been winning in recent years. This year, Atlanta leading now could go up 4-0 on Milwaukee in this year's series. Terry Cummings from the baseline. He misses there. Loose ball on
Sigma. He pushed.
Sigma for pushing. The call by Jack Madden and Rick Barry.
Yeah, Jack just gave him. That's right.
100-92 Hawks by 8. Cummings has Pierce open down low where he's been open all night long. Pierce has 18 points and about half of them came from underneath the hoop.
And the Hawks have to use as much of the clock as they possibly can. And they really shouldn't foul the Bucks there.
Peter Carruthers.
That's a 42-inch vertical leap is really good. That's about the same as row ends.
194 Atlanta by 6. For 3, Pressy. Sigma the rebound. Pierce takes it inside. Rivers tried to steal it, but Pierce has been tough down there tonight with 20 now in this game. 6-point differential. Rivers in the backcourt. Finds Dominique Wilkins, who has Moses. 1 minute left in the game. Atlanta by 8.
Now they need some threes now.
Sigma. Doesn't get it. That's probably all she wrote. Looks like the Hawks, who let the 17-point lead get cut all the way down to 4, are going to hang on for a win here tonight with an 8-point.
And Mike he's right into it.
He's had down to half court right now with play instructions. Sickman trying another three-pointer. Having about the same success he's had all night. Pierce gets the rebound and the stick back. 30 seconds to go in the game.
Going on right now, Michael Jordan, double teamed out front, finds Bill Cartwright in the middle, puts the ball up and in. Cartwright with 16 points to this point. But watch what happens a short time later. Chuck Person dives for the loose ball. Gets up, a foul is called on Chuck Person. Scottie Pippen tossed the ball at him, and after finding out a foul had been called on him, Chuck Person obviously loses his temper, goes into a verbal tirade against the officials. And not only does he get the personal foul, but he gets a trip to the showers because he is ejected from the game. At the point, he had 29 points, 10 rebounds.
You're accustomed to seeing the Bucks play. And again, they fought a losing battle, got it back to 4, but we've seen that happen so often. You get close, but not close enough.
Pressey comes out for the three-pointer. He doesn't get it to go down. This one's all over. In the second quarter, Milwaukee was only 6 of 18 in field goals and only scored 16 points. Well, Sickman denied Dominique Wilkins the exclamation point to this ball game with 18 seconds. Rebound Ray Tolbert and spun. At the end of this ball game, the Atlanta Hawks 111, the Milwaukee Bucks 98, and Atlanta continues to control the basketball game against these Milwaukee Bucks. Rick and I will be back here for closing comments. Levingston with a season-high 23, 10 of 12 from the field, and he played well all night long. Moses Malone, a little bit sick tonight, did not play up to his usual excellence, and Cliff Levingston certainly filled in the slack. On behalf of Miller Lite Superstation TBS, proud to donate $1,000 to the United Cerebral Palsy Association in the name of Cliff Levingston. From the Omni in Atlanta, this is Bob Neal speaking for Rick Barry and our entire TBS sports crew. So long, everybody.